She also says, little ass kicker, not a Grimes. Keep a close watch on the development of those lobes.
We had Eric T from Facebook said the same thing. Because when Rick was looking a baby ass kicker, I really thought he was sizing up her lobes.
Wow. And finally she says, so annoying that Lori appears just as Cuddy from The Cut, which apparently you told me that kind of means from The Hood or something.
Yeah.
I'm too white to know.
Yeah.
Gets a chance to plead his case after getting a taste of Herschel's patented don't get too comfy here treatment. Was it me or did Laurie's face look chewed up within the shadows? It would be kind of cool if Rick's vision of Laurie's were walker-fied. I had low def and kind of dark screen, so I don't know.
No, I'm the same way. That's one thing that annoys the shit out of me about my cable is they don't get AMC and high def.
Also, I have the same Samsung you do, and the plasmas are kind of dark there. You can't really tell. Yeah. So maybe on like an LCD or LED.
I don't know, but I mean, I think my dark levels are appropriate. I have to keep adjusting them, but it's when it's dark and standard def, it comes out really muddy.
Yeah.
You know, but dark and like Blu-ray is fucking awesome.
Jorge A says, "Sup, fellas?"
So AMC needs to start sending us Blu-ray screeners.
Definitely.
Anybody listen out there?
I don't think they send Blu-ray screeners to anybody.
Well, they should. They want to put their best foot forward here.
I guess.
Shamble their best foot forward.
Jorge A says, "Sup, fellas? This episode was like an emotional attic on speed, man." I can't do that as well as Aaron, but I tried.
Attic on speed, man. No, I fucked it up. Too much pressure.
I know.
God damn you for putting too much pressure on me.
Because now we have 3 stories to follow: the Rick-tator, the Dixon duo, and now the Governor faction. That's a good point. 3 stories, man.
Well, there's another.
What are your guys?
Oh, go ahead.
What are you guys' thoughts on this? And even though most likely in the end they will all become one story again, just about the survivors, how do you feel if they just made 2 shows, the regular Walking Dead and the story of the Dixon duo? Do you think they'd be strong enough for each show?
I don't know, man. I think, from what we learned of Daryl's relationship with his brother in last season, which was one of the standout episodes when Daryl fell down
fell off his horse.
Had his own little psychotic break falling down that gorge. I don't know that they have the rosiest of relationships.
Oh, certainly not.
And, I think that Daryl or Merle made Daryl the tough son of a bitch he is, but I don't know that he's especially thankful for that.
No, I agree 100% with that. Do you think they could support 2 shows? I feel like spinoffs almost never work.
Nope.
Almost never. Tom from the D. I don't know, I'm going to get a lot of people saying, oh, but Deadwood worked, or whatever it's called. Torchwood, rather. Deadwood. Torchwood worked. I don't know that it did it? I never saw it.
Well, I mean, they've successfully spun off a bunch of different series in that universe. I don't know. Successful is, I guess, a relative opinion.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like,
they're
how
doing it. I mean, it's working. They've had, how many? 5 now?
Well, the Whovians are particularly rabid fans.
Wait, that has nothing to do with Doctor Who, does it?
What?
Torchwood?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's a Doctor Who spinoff.
Get the fuck out.
Nope, dead serious.
I thought there's tons of Torchwood spinoffs. Of course, I'm a Who newbie. I'm a Who virgin.
Yeah, a Whoobie.
So one of these days I'll get my Who cherry popped, but I got a lot of other stuff to plow through first.
Yeah, definitely. Tom from the D. The D is
Detroit? That reminds me before we go on. So I'm in the middle. I'm almost finished with season 1 of Oz.
Yeah.
And I found myself, because it's the reason I started is because it was the number 1, Seppenwald cited as it's the grandfather of all the modern Golden Age television shows.
Sopranos, bitch.
No, but it's pretty clear that if Oz wasn't a success, they would have never had Sopranos.
Wow. Okay.
So it's kind of like the prototype. But there's a lot to be critical of, and there's a lot of missteps. And what I find myself is 20 minutes into the episode, I'm kind of bored and wanting to surf Reddit and surf Facebook. And, but then by the time that the credits roll, I've found myself absorbed into it. But I'm kind of on the fence because it's hard for me to get excited about watching a new episode because I don't have that. There's not what will happen next because they're all kind of standalone vignettes too.
Oh, okay.
So for fans that are fans of quality television, have seen the whole series. Should I stick with this, or should I move to? Would I be better suited to go to Deadwood and then Sopranos, and then go back to see Oz? At some point.
Man, I find it hard to recommend a show that doesn't end. that just like got canceled,
Oz
like
didn't,
Deadwood.
though. Oh.
No, that's
Well, but I felt the same way. But I read Sepinwall's book, and he actually thinks that the way they left it was a very good ending.
Oh.
Kind of like if you imagine Breaking Bad ended at season 4. If that was a plan, that would be a reasonably satisfying end,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So
Don't fuck it up, Villigan.
So I just kind of appreciate the fans just personally, because I know a lot of people have emailed me and I've given them tips on The Wire and getting into Justified and pay that back. Should I, steer me right? Should I stick with Oz or should I bail and go to Deadwood?
Okay.
So thank you. I'd appreciate that.
Tom from the D says, "Hey guys, welcome back. Well, I thought the return episode was pretty good. He kind of liked it. Here's some points I noticed. He also raised a glass to shitty bow girl getting killed. Thank God she's gone. Thank God she's gone. I didn't hate her that much, but apparently you did.
Yeah. I mean, she fucking's an ear tucker.
She's
She's
right. She doesn't
in
know
a
how to wear
zombie
hat.
apocalypse. She's wearing short shorts, rolled up sleeves, and tucking her ears into her hat. And she's bragging about being an Olympic archer.
Thank God
and
she's dead.
And she fucking can't hit a zombie from like 10 yards. Fuck her. Yeah, I'm glad she's dead.
All right, fair enough.
I'm glad. I mean, I'm not Fiesta glad, but yes.
I agree with this. Zombie Kill of the Week has got to go to Glenn for curb stomping that one to death, of course. Coolest bad... I don't agree with this at all. Coolest bad guy moment was the governor walking out, killing the wounded guy, and leaving without saying anything.
That was pretty badass.
It definitely was the coolest bad guy moment because it was the only bad guy moment.
They shut the crowd up. What? What
Nah,
about Merle's
yeah.
racist tirade?
Fair enough.
I don't know if
Merlin's
that's cool.
Badass.
He's the coolest
racist tirade.
He's the coolest Imperial Cyclops.
Oh God. Rick reminded me of my dad when he said, "You want me to turn this car around?" line, arguing with Glenn. That was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
And he says he's kind of sick of The Last Samurai. Why can't she just open her mouth? I think I have a fiesta when she gets taken out. It's, we are all
Who
about
was that?
fiestas.
Who are
Last
we?
Samurai.
Michonne? No, I wouldn't.
He just wants her to speak. Speak,
I
woman.
agree. They are really fucking that character up.
Yeah.
And like,
There's something to be said for silent but strong types.
it's funny because the first
But
time
come on.
we registered displeasure at that, there's a whole bunch of apologists like, well, she's kind of like that in the comic book, and I don't see there's nobody in our feedback saying that now.
There's
because,
just no
again,
justification for not saying anything when people's lives are on the line.
Use your big girl words, right?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Joe E. says, I have a bad feeling about the second half after last night. I also found this article in which Sarah Wayne Callie says Mazzara and company had even worse ideas for the hallucination that she shot down. One of those ideas, according to Sarah Wayne Callie herself, and tell me if you think this is worse. She says, there was talk about Laurie showing up as a zombie, but her being a hallucination. And then she and Rick would have a conversation about something, and I remember being pretty vocal about that. I was like, I think talking zombies is bad for the show.
Okay, would that
100% agree. Talking zombies would have jumped the shark. Even in a hallucination. Come on. That's too much. Someone on the end of a ringing phone I can buy.
part of me wants to say that might have worked better than the silhouetted from behind wedding dress Laurie, radiant of light, and
on paper,
none of it worked.
Might be better.
None of it worked. It's
You're right.
like,
I think it would have been way worse. It sounds terrible.
All right. Well, I'm indifferent. You're
Thank
saying
you,
way
Sarah,
worse,
for shooting that down.
There you go. Are you regretting a fiesta now? But interestingly enough, even though we agree, everyone sounds like that this is, by consensus. There's some outliers here and there, but the worst episode of season 3. Do you know how many people watched it last night?
No.
12.3 million. Oh, God. Shattering the record.
A third
from
of our
last season.
audience.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think the record for last season was 10 point something or other. So
Yeah.
it's like it grew, 20% growth on this shit.
Already the biggest show on AMC, and they're still raking in the people.
Yeah.
Do you want to read this next one? Because it is completely unedited, and you said you liked it. So
Wait, where
this is Lauren from Down Under.
shit. I was keeping and then I switched on to tab to look up the statistics.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, I didn't mean. I meant to edit some of this down, but anyway,
It's obscenely long for the show. I enjoyed reading it.
She said, first of all, she is a fan despite the fact that we spoiled the shit out of Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead. Sorry about that, but like that's kind of our philosophy is that we only deal with spoilers in the show universe itself. Like we might spoil Breaking Bad for you in The Walking Dead. We might spoil The Walking Dead and Breaking Bad.
We'll do better at that. We will not.
Really?
Yes, because that is horrible. I would be so angry if I were in like season 2 of Breaking Bad and I'm listening to season 3 of Walking Dead and they spoil season 4 of Breaking Bad for me.
All I know is when they beheaded Ned Stark, it was
you fucker.
Anyway, I like she has this, so she took our comic book, our Wolverine theory, and she went crazy with it, which I adore. She said she couldn't stop thinking about our Wolverine theory. Said clearly the writers are trying to draw some very sketchy comparisons here. That or they're saying that Rick is even further off the reservation than we thought. But she says Shane is totally unworthy of being Wolverine since that badass and generally awesome title clearly belongs to Daryl. However, if we accept the writer's ridiculous premise of Wolverine, it follows that Rick is Scott Summers / Cyclops. No, because of the group's uneasy alliance with Wolverine because they have the thing for the same woman, Lori, a.k.a. Jean / Phoenix. Daryl is Rogue.
Lori / Mom Jeans / Phoenix.
Ooh. Daryl is Rogue because that sums up his nature, and she's a Southern belle. And she puts parenthetically, I'm sure wherever he's from, Daryl is the Southern catch. Michonne would be Storm because they're both pretty kick-ass, although sadly Michonne is not nearly as articulate or forthcoming as Storm. Herschel could be Charles Xavier. He's way hairier than Charles Xavier, number one. A Chia Pet version of Charles Xavier.
Yes.
Herschel could be Charles Xavier at a stretch, mostly because he's older and a wiser voice. Clearly, they are the X-Men in a parallel universe, and Kirkman and Mazzara are just a front.
Wow.
So that tickled me, and I had to read it as a fan of comic books in general.
No, I like it.
And then she asked a zombie science question for us.
Oh.
She wonders, and I guess Craig Ferguson asked Stephen Yun. Is it Yun? Yun.
Yeah, I don't know how you say
I butchered
his last name.
shit out of his name, and I'm sure there's people annoyed, but I don't care. Do zombies poop? Stephen thought yes, although not necessarily for any reason discussed behind the scenes. My gut, pun intended, instinct was no, but then when I thought about it, I realized I've never seen a fat zombie before, although I'm fairly new to zombie-verse. That said, if their digestive mouth and stomach functions reanimate in the most basic sense, it makes sense that the food goes somewhere, because once they're eaten, they're not sated for life, right? Their hunger is presumably eternal unless they eventually starve to death. So, thoughts?
So what I think happens is I think they're shoving food in their face as fast as they can. They're basically pushing it through their digestive tract, and it just forces, as they eat more, it forces what's left out the other end.
That and like corpses explode. Okay, like in the natural world, when you die,
gases build
up, microorganisms release carbon dioxide, and your gut can literally explode.
Kaboom!
And you see a lot of zombies with their midsection blown out. That's probably what's happened to them, and then the meat would just fall. They're literally a bottomless pit.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I think eventually the meat pressure combined with it rotting and the gas action is going to cause them to basically, if you have the bad flu and it's coming out of you both ends, that's zombies 24/7.
That's disgusting.
They got rotten meat coming out of their mouth. They got rotten meat blown out their ass. Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's go to Alex's email. He comes up with a pretty nice analogy here to describe this episode.
Yes.
He says, this episode is like when you strain real hard to get a nice, satisfying fart out, but then a little piece of poo comes out. What a disappointment.
We call that around here a shart.
Shart, yes. Disgusting. So he apparently didn't like the end of this episode either. So he's with you. Rachel in Cleveland says, why are the writers forcing unnecessary drama? This episode felt like it was trying to bite off more than it can structurally chew. There's already built-in suspense from the beginnings of Rick versus the governor battle. Do we really need the extra drama piled on top? No one is worried that Daryl and Merle are gone for good. Of course not. Everyone knows they're coming back. No one thinks that Tyrese.
Yes.
Tyrese's group has been banished from the prison. Nope, I think they're coming back too. You are correct.
Yeah, so it's like if we all know this, it's kind of like the same thing as like So if they had SWC on set, why the fuck is the crazy backlighting? Like, were they trying to keep us in suspense about whether it was really Laurie or who he was seeing?
Yeah, well, they did the same thing with
it felt
the
very
zombie,
soapy.
right? Like the zombie that may or may not have eaten her last time.
Yeah, although we had some good feedback about that.
We did. Yeah.
The psychotic break dude, the expert that tried to claim he wasn't an expert. I forget his name. This is why we should have a good feedback engine. But yeah, that led to a nice theory. Maybe he'll write back in with an elaboration on how Ghost Laurie fits in with this whole general scheme too.
Okay, I encourage that. She also says, slow down with Rick. There's little gratification in seeing the group's leader have big, scary breakdowns because the bigger and faster the breakdown, the faster it resolves, and there's no tension in that.
Agreed.
When I watch Rick freak out over Ghost Laurie, all I think is, well, they'll burn this story arc out in 7 episodes. She has no anxiety over how this is going to affect the group. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah,
They're doing too much too quickly.
and I got more thoughts on that in the spoiler section.
Okay. We're going to Silvio.
Oh, get her predictions, man.
Are they good? Sorry, I jumped over him. Okay, so she has 2 predictions. First one's just a straight-up prediction. Andrea brings Poindexter with her when she inevitably rejoins Rick's group.
So that's the Aaron
That
liver
would save you.
apocalypse.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're
that would
voting
kill
for
me.
him to die.
So you're voting. You're basically predicting alcohol poisoning for me. Way to go, Rachel.
Ultra prediction. Andrea exploits the feud between Rick and the governor and rises to take control of Woodbury.
What do you think of that?
I like that because she's already moving in.
Plus,
That speech today.
plus they could leave Andrea behind in Woodbury and march on wherever they're going to go. And
Yeah, just be done with
although
her.
the only thing I got a problem with that, Rachel, is if that would happen, why wouldn't Andrea just let Rick and the group move in?
Yeah.
And then they would just,
Maybe it's a Merle and Glenn situation where the people of Woodbury say, you killed our friends. You can't stay here.
But, I mean, a lot of that was bullshit. Like, the governor credited 3 separate deaths that his own people caused. And what's funny is even the governor didn't know one of them that Merle had killed.
Yeah.
What was his name?
I don't know. Didn't care.
Yeah, well, Merle, I mean, he didn't bother to learn the guy's name until after he killed him, so I'm going to follow suit. But, yeah, I mean, most of the carnage was a direct result of, either having to save Glenn and Maggie from being dropped in the screaming pits, or they were inflicted by Woodbury thugs themselves. So,
Yep.
interesting. I think you could maybe sell that. That's something people would buy,
I agree.
especially these rubes.
Silvio says, my first reaction was skeptical. Please don't take it the wrong, Aaron. But when I heard your first... Oh, so he's a new listener, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Says, please don't take it the wrong way, Aaron. But when I first heard your voice intonation, I thought for sure it was going to be attached to a very cynical, know-it-all asshole.
Nailed it. Nailed
Completely.
me.
Yeah, he understands you.
Yeah, like he's the Aaron Whisperer. But then he explains later that, he turned around on that. He also wanted to know if we've ever planning a trip to central part of Florida, home of the East Coast giant white-gloved rat.
Actually, I was specifically going there for that.
Is that the state animal? It's very
I don't know.
grandiose.
White-gloved rat. They're talking about Mickey. He's talking about Disney World.
Oh!
Jesus, man. Get a clue.
Well, see, I've never been to Disney World.
Okay.
Disney's dead to me. I know. And I wasn't allowed to watch Disney cartoons when I was growing up too because they had featured magic, and my mother was a psycho.
Got one of them, Fantasia. That's like it.
What? Almost all of the Disney cartoons featured magic.
Oh, I was talking about Mickey.
Oh, no.
movies.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't really have a special. So it's like that total. I thought he was talking about a real. It's like, well, maybe the paws are white. I mean, that seems kind of weird.
Get out of here.
But
Crazy.
we just recently had a meetup in Boulder. We'd love to have more. It's just that.
It's really just wherever we happen to go. We're probably going to do meetups.
Yes. If
something cool is happening in central part of Florida, let us know.
Yeah. Or anywhere else for that matter.
Yeah. Andrea from England says, I was very pleased to see Merle and Daryl go off together for a little while. It works for me on several levels. And I will not read those. No, I'm kidding. It makes sense as a decision the characters made. Daryl wasn't going to leave his brother, and Rick couldn't force him to. Better to have Daryl and Merle as allies elsewhere in the local area than Merle further destabilizing the group. I agree with that. Following the main cast as it is, split into 3 groups could benefit the rhythm of the show. It allows for more configurations of the different groups coming into conflict and working together, and means individual episodes can cut from action with one group to reflective time with another, rather than entire hours that are either all action or all reflection.
I actually like that. That actually, we
thought that worked so well with
season.
Andrea and Michonne.
Yes.
Yeah, cutting back and forth.
Yeah, totally. And it avoids the farm syndrome where everybody's in the same spot and it's a bottle with everybody and nobody gets really serviced well.
Yeah. I've been looking forward to seeing the Dixon brothers together for a long time, and it'll be nice to figure out their dynamic when nobody is trying to kill one or both of them, which means they kind of have to be alone for a little while, because I think right now the only fighter besides Daryl who does not want to kill Merle is Andrea, which is surprising considering everything Merle represents. Speaking of Andrea, do you guys think the scales are finally falling off of her eyes just a little? Hell no. I think she's still on board 100% with Governor.
Yeah.
If she didn't kick him in the balls and leave the minute he told them that Glenn and Maggie was there.
But do you think her loyalty is swaying more from, and I think that's the point.
Yes, I do.
It's not as much for the governor as it is for the people, the innocent rubes and jackasses of Woodbury.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. It's frustrating that she hasn't just kicked him in the dick yet. We're going to Facebook. You're doing this Facebook
this is my
thing, right? Phil Z.
I got a couple of choice. We have like 100+ comment thread.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's awesome, but we don't have time to read it all. But I got Phil Z. He had one multi-part point. He said, I think I figured out why Glenn is acting so weird. While they're prisoners of Woodbury, he kept his mouth shut about the location of the other survivors, even when he thought that the governor was or had and was going to rape Maggie. I suspect this is largely because Glenn thought himself a coward when he froze in combat during Season 2, when they went into town to retrieve drunken Herschel, and he's trying to redeem himself. Maggie went back into Woodbury with the rest of the Darryl rescue party, which he was unable to do. Now Herschel is telling him how proud he was for taking care of Maggie and how he couldn't stand if something worse had happened to her, and how he's almost like a son to him. Glenn has to deal with a double helping of guilt, both for his, in his own mind, cowardice from Season 2 and from being willing to let the woman he loves be harmed for the good of the group, while at the same time being unable to put himself in harm's way. The poor guy can't catch a break. What do you think?
Oh, man, that's a good take.
I think that's a great analysis.
I love it.
And it explains why he was almost more pissed off than what you would suspect him at, not being in there. And, like, even the whole group was like, dude, you fucking couldn't stand. But now, that just compounds his failure in Season 2.
Yeah, definitely. I like that a lot. That's it for feedback, right? You don't have anything else?
Nope.
All right, hit us with the outro.
Okay.
We will, of course, have spoilers afterward, but...
So, like I said, I'm going to take a little bit more time to do some pimping in the outro segment. We are part of...
now.
We are part of, I'm a little rusty at this,
okay.
Damn it. We are part of the Bald Move Network, and you can find all of our content at baldmove.com, including, of course, our coverage of The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, which is coming up at the end of April.
Can you do some pimping in the outro segment?
In end of March, and the latest seasons of Mad Men, which I believe is coming back in April as well.
Wow.
And
Stacking
Breaking
them up.
Bad, which is going to end
I'm so excited.
Summer. I'm sad.
Yeah, of course I'm sad that it's going away, but damn, I'm excited for the last half season.
Yeah. So don't forget our newest affiliate, or our not so new affiliates, our seasoned veteran affiliates, the Personal Arrogance crew out of Seattle. We just spent a week with them out in Boulder, Colorado. It was fucking awesome. This week they talk Magic the Gathering, Great Gate Crash. They talk about beer. In part 2, they talk about the Star Wars prequels and some other stuff. That was the bulk of it that I remember. Also, the Because Show, the ladies, Susan, Geraldine, and Amy out of L.A. Talked Legos, and so they got shipped a Sybian. Do you know what a Sybian is?
Hell yeah, I know what a Sybian is.
It's a piece of sex furniture.
Yeah.
It's like $1,400, and someone just shipped them a free sample because I mentioned on a podcast. That's pretty awesome.
That's crazy.
But I've decided that Amy's my favorite now. Even though Geraldine's the one I've had the most contact with,
You've decided this after the discussion with sex toys?
Of course, yeah. Because, she's the one that was like, hell, I'll take it last. I don't care. I'll get down on the used sex toy. I got to respect that.
Yeah. All right.
She's now emerged as a clear favorite of the girls. So if you like us, If you like the personal arrogance guys, especially if you're a lady, I, as a guy, think they're hilarious.
Oh, they are. They're really funny.
I don't get a lot of their makeup talk, but they talk about good books. They talk about good food. They talk about
hilarious
their
stories.
lives.
I love to hear the stories from their lives.
This week they talk about their $1,000 sex toy and divvying it up. They talk about Legos. They talk about Levi's moisturizing jeans. You can hear the personal arrogance crew drunk dialing them because Geraldine remote bought us a shot.
Yeah,
all the way from L.A. to Rocky Mountains. She bought us a round of drinks at the Avery Brewing Company meetup. So yeah, I guess we're going to describe that. That's a baller move. I think the guys said it 20 different times as they're describing it.
Yeah.
It's a baller move. Geraldine, you are...
I was just going to say it once, but if you want to say it 10 times.
Well, I just wanted to keep the theme going.
Okay.
And our latest acquisition, our latest collaboration, Tom and Kelly, Up Yours Downstairs. If you like Downton Abbey, Tom and Kelly are hilarious. They go into crazy in-depth detail.
Man, I love their podcast because they do, they do everything from fashion of the period to,
historical facts
about the war that they were in, all sorts of stuff that is essential to the backstory and understanding that show, I think.
And I think if you're a fan of Downton, you're in for, you're cool with a 2.5-hour podcast delving into the fashion, historical tidbits, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's great. We're glad to have them. Welcome aboard. First cast they officially posted this week. And also, they're doing it an episode a week. I know the American broadcast is kind of fucked up because they opened up with a 2-hour premiere and they just did a 2-hour random thing. So we're at the season finale next week. Tom and Kelly are a couple weeks behind, so you can kind of savor the podcast. And even on the off season, they do a lot of stuff with Edwardian England. Like they covered Titanic.
Yeah, anything from that's set in that period.
Yeah, they break on the off season. They do bi-weekly casts of breaking down stuff like that. So they're fantastic. We love them. For this show, you can send us feedback at watching dead at baldmove.com. You can join me on facebook.com/baldmove for our rollicking live threads of the show. Jim's on twitter.com/baldmove. And sadly, you're not living with me anymore, so you're cable challenged.
Yeah, I'm kind of pissed.
Are you going to come? Or why don't you just come out to my house?
I think I will.
All right. So you can get back into live tweeting?
This first week, I didn't think about it until a couple hours before. But next week, live tweeting.
Live tweeting. Did you get anybody tweeting at you?
A couple people, yeah.
How much did you enjoy that? Because you had to wait 24 hours to watch it.
I saw that the icon on my Twitter thing was lit up, and I was like, nope.
You just broke your phone.
It is 9:30 p.m. I am not doing this.
You threw the iPhone in the toilet. It's the only way to only way to be sure.
And then it showed up on my iPad. Shit.
The other thing you can do to support us is, and the most important thing is, the reviews and ratings on iTunes. And, I know you go in there, it's like, well, these guys got a couple hundred reviews. Fuck them.
Look at Adam Carolla's feed. Come on, people.
And
17,000.
iTunes is very sensitive to, the recency and the velocity of reviews. Yeah. So, getting 20, 30 reviews in a single week is enough to get us to the top of the, what's hot section, and that helps our traffic grow. And it's the single, probably biggest thing you can do to help us promote the cast.
Yeah.
What you can do to help support us is use our Amazon affiliate link at amazon.baldmove.com, or click on our banner at the top of the baldmove.com webpage. You can also, once you arrive to that landing page, it's just a Amazon homepage. You can bookmark that if you're still one of those people that bookmark.
Oh, yeah.
I don't use bookmarks anymore, right?
No.
I'm all URL typing.
Yeah, well, Google auto-completes
it does.
so well.
If you're using Chrome or Firefox.
Yeah, so I don't even bother.
But what you do is when you go there, you think, oh, I know, it's going to take a 25% of their order and jack it onto my shipping and handling. Well, you'd be wrong, because it's just free. It's just Jeff Bezos giving away free money for reasons I don't understand. Apparently, he's financing podcasts.
He's profit averse.
Yeah.
No profits here at Amazon.
No. They just want to give them away to podcasters. We want our noses in that trough. So if you buy shit on Amazon, I'm not saying just buy stupid shit to support us, but, if you're buying the Walking Dead Blu-ray set for Season 2 or Season 3.1 or whatever, we would really appreciate it if you use an Amazon.baldmove.com link.
Yeah.
And
this shit's getting too long. We got to cut some stuff out of here.
Fuck you. Also... Check out Audible.com.
I feel like an audience member right now saying, fuck this, I'm out, I'm fast forwarding.
Check out audible.com/baldmove for your free Audible book. I mean, hell, if you haven't tried it yet, do so. It's a fantastic series.
You owe it to yourself.
If you're a Kindle fanatic, especially, that Whispers Think stuff is hot shit.
Yeah,
man.
no joke. That's really cool.
So there you go. Now we can proceed to the spoiler section.
Okay. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We will, of course, be back next week. Until then, I'm Jim.
And I'm Aaron. See you next week.
And we're back with the spoiler section. Go ahead and run the video for next week.
On the next episode of AMC's The Walking Dead.
We can't stay here.
We can't run. I need to go see them.
We need you.
You're not going back to Woodbury, are you?
Let them go. You and I could end this tonight.
We need you now more than ever.
Where's the governor?
I'm not sure where her loyalties lie. For a longer look at the next episode.
Who the fuck fell off the bridge there? Did you see that?
Carl Jr.
No.
No, I don't know.
I didn't recognize
tell who
him.
it
I didn't
was.
recognize there was a lady there, too. It's like Shitty Bow Girl Part 2.
How much do you want to bet that We Need You is followed up by I Need You?
I don't...
A lot of money riding on that.
No bet. No bet. So should I read the
so-
spoiler email since you're complaining of
I'm
weak
about
voice?
to go full laryngitis here.
Okay. So Jess W. or Jace W., a lady friend of ours, who I don't know how to pronounce Jas apparently, says she enjoyed hanging out on her Fly Facebook thread, watching Ep, and I mentioned I had a spoilery comment. Mind you, I haven't read the comments, so it's only based on the podcasts. Listening to our podcast, including the spoiler section, so I'm going off what I heard from you. So she's basically saying we're the blame if any of this shit doesn't make sense.
Fair
Which
enough.
I'll take that. I got broad shoulders. In some previous episode, you talked about a storyline that's probably long past now where Carol commits suicide. But what if they're thinking about making Daryl's departure her breaking point? She was really upset when Rick told her, and she was talking to Beth, the other girl who thought about suicide, and seemed a little too upbeat and happy with the baby, which is sometimes a sign of people who've made their peace or are preparing to die. Ooh.
Like it.
So, what do you think about that? You've
so
read
she
the comic
no,
that far, right?
No.
Really? Still?
No.
You need
Still
to plow
not.
through that shit.
I will.
I'm caught up to current, baby.
I will.
I'm all about to combat Jesus.
This weekend, I'm going to bust out the old iPad. buy
Parker
'em
Kung
all.
Fu Jesus. That's actually a thing in the new comics.
Jesus. Parker Kung Fu Jesus. Yeah. So you said that Carol kills herself or tries to kill herself?
So she makes a pass at... She kind of bonds with Lori, and she bonds with Rick, and she comes with the idea that they should all get married together.
Yeah, it's weird.
And Lori fucking flips out, and Rick's like, what the hell? And she decides she's so rejected. And this is also after she was boyfriends with Tyrese,
Oh,
and
man.
he dumped her for Michonne. She's so distraught that she sacrifices herself to a walker.
So I'm seeing a Beth, Carl, Carol love triangle.
Oh, God. Maximum squick factor.
Yeah.
I honestly think that would be... They shift details around, but that's a juicy enough plot line. Someone sacrificing themselves to walkers that I would not be surprised if they bring it back.
Yeah. In some
And-
form. Maybe not Carol making a move on Beth, but
Yeah.
some form.
But just her being so distraught about Daryl leaving.
yes. Yeah.
I could totally buy that.
Definitely.
So thanks for listening there, Jace.
Yas.
Yas.
Yeah.
That's
I think
Swedish,
it's
right?
Yas, and I think it's a dude. I think you called him.
No, I checked her out on Facebook. She's a girl.
Oh, okay.
So there.
Yas is a girl's name? Okay.
Maybe it's Jasmine, so she's Jazz.
Oh, maybe
It
so.
could be Jasmine. I don't know. Jesse B, who has our spoiler aficionado,
Holy hell is he ever.
he actually, I guess, had spoiler breakdowns for episode 9, but we did a preview before we had a chance to send them in. He says that there's a chance that this is accurate, but he's worried about it not being accurate because And we've heard this too, that they've done reshoots through this season, like very recent reshoots, which kind of is fodder for the gist for the fodder for the mill.
For the Glenn Mazzara thing.
For the Glenn Mazzara gist mill, that he's fucked up the second half of the season and the executives are coming in there and reshooting shit.
People just can't hold it together longer than one season.
I guess not. He says the episode for 310 begins as Rick watches through his binoculars, observing Michonne walking around the overturned bus in the prison field. As he surveys the area, he suddenly hallucinates a woman in white standing over the graves of his fallen companions. He runs towards the tomb to meet her. As Rick approaches the woman in white, she vanishes. He looks around and sees her again, but this time beyond the prison gates.
The woman in... Why are we calling her the woman in white? It's Lori, for fuck's sake.
All right. I will edit that from here on out. He leaves the prison yard. Michonne watches him go outside and close the door behind them. Finally, after approaching Lori, we can see that it's Lori in her wedding dress. She touches his face. Rick smiles and then kisses her and has revealed that Lori's a zombie. No, actually, I just made that up. But that'd be fucking cool, right?
That would be awesome. And she's carrying a zombie baby.
Michonne looks at Rick standing there alone. Cue theme music begins. Okay, I'll talk about my shit after this. In Woodbury, Andrea sits quietly in her apartment while the governor calls the door. He calls it a door.
What does he call it? Yeah,
the
calls
door
it a jar.
is a jar. He says that her speech to the people is what they needed to hear. She asks about the prison. He says that as long as they do not disturb the city, that they are not being bothered. Andrea wants to see them. The governor changes the subject and says that he's not able to lead the people of the city at the moment, but that Andrea can. He wants her to lead the city. Interesting. On the road, Daryl watches Merle emerge from the forest. They talk about how they can find food. Daryl tries to convince Merle that the prison is the best option. Merle does not agree, saying that they don't want to let them in. Besides, they're all dead anyway since the governor wants to kill them. This actually is a confirmed scene. You can actually go to AMC.com and watch it in the sneak preview. Mm-hmm. Glenn has taken over the group. He wants to return back to the city and kill the governor. He asks
what does taking over the group mean?
It means while Rick's out there caressing his zombie, I get MacGruber flashbacks where he's at his wife's grave fucking her.
I was...
Wait, you didn't see it?
No, I saw it. I was so completely trashed
You're pixelated?
that I don't remember any of it.
All right, well, there's some people that are feeling me on that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's out there, face fucking his ghost wife, so someone's got to lead the thing.
Oh, my God.
So Glenn's taken over. It's a Glenn-tatorship now. He wants to return back to the city and kill the governor. He asks the opinion of Michonne, and she accepts. This is shades of the comic with Tyrese and Michonne leading a solo raid against the citizens of Woodbury. The rest of the group, except Rick, does not agree and feel that they must leave the prison before it is too late. Glenn says that they cannot leave now because they have a crying baby and a man without a leg. Glenn and Carl go to secure the cells through which Tyrese and his group entered. The governor surprises Poindexter while he's doing some medical experiments. The governor expressed how valuable Poindexter was and asked him if he intends to stay. Poindexter says the idea of leading the city never crossed his mind. He asks if Poindexter would take a bullet for him, and Poindexter says yes. The governor then shoots him right in the face, sparing Aaron's liver. The governor then asks Milton/Poindexter to watch over Andrea because he does not know where her loyalty lies. Andrea approaches the main gates of Woodbury and asks where Martinez is. Nobody knows. Andrea sees Poindexter and asks where the governor is, but he does not give a direct answer. Glenn and Carl return. Herschel suggests again that they leave the prison. Glenn says, "Fuck you, old man." The group agrees. Axel offers to go. I'm punching this up as necessary. Axel offers to go with Glenn to explore the hidden side of the prison, and they find out how the walkers entered the building. Glenn asks Axel to help the women to pick up supplies because he will talk to Maggie. He asks Maggie if everything is okay and tells her that he wants to talk about quote-unquote that. Glenn asks if he was...
so they didn't talk about this.
All right. And Glenn didn't actually see this happen to Maggie.
Exactly,
so.
Yeah.
Glenn asks if she was raped, and she says no. She confesses to him that if she had not undressed, the governor would have cut off Glenn's hand, almost crying. She asks if he's happy now that he knows everything, and when he goes to comfort her, she punches him and tells him to leave the cell. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, my God. This could be an interesting episode.
Yes. On the outside, Carol and Axel are guarding the bridges in prison.
Guarding the
Why
bitches in prison?
Why are the bridges in prison? Axel tells her that he is in jail for armed robbery. He assaulted a liquor store with a water gun. Well, that's shitty armed robbery. The police searched the house, and his brother found the gun that matched the description of the weapon used. Carol offered to teach him how to use a real gun. Axel is grateful to Carol.
Because now he can rob liquor stores the right way.
Merle and Daryl are walking through the woods to the river to get some fish. They argue about which direction to take when they hear a scream. Daryl recognizes as a crying baby. They run to a bridge where a Spanish family is fending off walkers. Daryl runs to the bridge where Merle tries to stop him. Daryl begins to break down the walkers while Merle covering. After clearing the bridge, Daryl asks if the family's okay. Merle begins to ransack the car. The father family tries to stop Merle with his gun, but Merle takes him down and continues looting the car. Daryl appears behind Merle and aims his crossbow at him and obliges him to leave the car and allows the Spanish family to escape.
So I think
Spoiler
you have your
alert,
answer for...
They're actually some vatos.
Yeah. They're taking care of old ladies. I think you have your answer on who goes off the bridge. Either the Spanish family or most likely a walker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Daryl walks back into the woods, and Merle follows him and scolds him for risking his life for strangers while not hesitating to give him up on the roof of Atlanta. Daryl says he was looking for him and he deserved what happened to him for everything he did before. Merle gets angry and says, "I'm sure you don't know how we plan to steal the camp." Daryl says that it never happened. Merle says that just because he was not there to help, Daryl calls on... Wait, I don't get this. Daryl calls on his childhood abandonment, and Merle accuses him of making him lose his hand in retaliation. Daryl says he lost a hand for being an asshole. Merle attacks Daryl and takes him down, discovering in the process scars an entire back of Daryl. Merle says he did not know.
You're about halfway through this email, by the way.
I know, but Daryl's... I'm in. It's a marathon. Bring it on.
Brutally long.
But Daryl says that he knew because Daryl had them as well, and that's why he left first. What the fuck? Were they slaves in antebellum South? Daryl starts to walk, and Merle asks where he's going. Daryl says he's got this new movie called Django Unchained that he wants to be in. Daryl tells him he's going back to the prison, and Merle says he cannot go there because he tried to kill Glenn and Michonne. Daryl asks if he's leaving him again, and then Merle begins to follow. Jesus. Herschel calls for Glenn before he leaves to Woodbury.
This is crazy. This is insanity.
I can see why Mazzara gets sacked. Can you imagine the execs watching this?
Yeah, this is the pitch. This is the email he sends them to get them on board.
This was a stolen email from Glenn Mazzara's BlackBerry. He questions Glenn about going to that town and reminds him that he needs to protect Maggie.
This is his elevator pitch.
It's a elevator. Glenn says that Herschel is the next leader and gets into his car and leaves. Herschel sees Rick walking around just outside the gate. Inside, Beth asks Maggie if she can take care of Judith. No, it's Ass Kicker for a moment as she cooks something and Maggie takes care of the baby. Oh, wow.
This shit is too funny.
Herschel calls for Rick, and at first the sheriff didn't know from what... Wait, we're calling the sheriff now? He didn't know from where the sound is coming, but he finally sees Herschel inside the fences. Herschel tells Rick how much the group needs him. Glenn is at war and cannot be the new leader. No, he's not a good wartime. He's not no Sonny Corleone. Rick replied that Herschel must take the lead. Herschel asks what he's doing there, and Rick confesses that he saw Lori and Shane. Herschel says that's only a manifestation of his blame, and he needs to rest because the group needs him. Rick refuses. Michonne, still around the bus, watches the men talking. Of course, she can't go down there and reason with them.
No.
Outside in the yard, Axel continues talking to Carol and flirting with her, saying that she is a lady when suddenly he gets a bullet in the head, killing him. The governor and his men are attacking the prison. Martinez has immobilized Rick outside. Herschel is hiding in the bushes just inside the enclosure. Carl and Beth are hiding behind the bleachers. Michonne takes refuge in the bus. Carl is using Axel's body as a shield. Bullets are flying everywhere.
Carol couldn't lift that guy. Are you kidding me?
One of the men of Woodbury managed to take control of one of the towers. Michonne exchanged fire with the governor. Carl's trying to cover Carol, who is still hidden under Axel's body. The fire
she's laying
ceases.
down. Okay.
The calm is reassuring. Maggie comes running with weapons for Beth and Carol.
Bullet in the head.
Rick, still on the fence outside, is trying to fight Martinez. Maggie, Beth, and Carl cover Carol as she reaches them and takes a weapon. Rick looks at how a van crashed straight into the fences. The van opens and releases a lot of walkers into the courtyard. Walkers are driving vans. The driver, fully dressed in armor, runs off and returns to the governor. The fight resumes. Oh my God.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
Wait, is this like the next 3 episodes? Because there's no fucking way this is one episode, right?
It might be.
Rick yells at Herschel to return to the prison. Maggie finally kills a sniper in the tower as Rick enters the fences. Walkers begin to appear in the forest. The shooting has attracted them. The governor's men leave. Herschel is surrounded by walkers, and Rick cannot help because he himself is being invaded. Wow. Carl suddenly appears.
Rick's being invaded?
Yeah.
Shit.
Glenn suddenly appears in the distance. Michonne with her katana is making her way to Herschel. Rick is out of bullets and he's struggling with 2 walkers and more are coming. The look of terror comes over him. He will die. Suddenly, Lori saves it. No. Suddenly an arrow through the head of the walker. The Dixon brothers come running. Merle kills another zombie attacking Rick while Daryl is killing walkers with arrows. Glenn and Michonne help Herschel climb into the car and drive to the security of the prison. All are safe, in parentheses, except Axel.
Who is dead from a bullet to the head.
The group observes that they lost everything they built. Walkers roam the grounds. Rick turns and looks into the distance, thinking about what just happened. They're at war. End of episode. Oh my God.
That's a lot of stuff happening.
Yes.
It sounds insane.
We've got to edit these spoiler emails down. I can't do another one of those.
That was crazy. That was 10 minutes of solid reading.
Thank you for sending that in to us,
Jesse B.
B.
Theodore also sent the exact same thing.
So this is basically confirmed then.
Yeah, I think so.
They
have the same source. Yeah, from I think it's TV Spoilers or something that's doing it.
I meant to talk about this before. God, I can't imagine there's.
But we're going to go ahead and read Theodore's email anyway.
I can't imagine people are still listening at this point, but I actually really like the way they handle Rick's kind of craziness in the comic, where he basically steals that phone and continues to have conversations with Lori in private.
It sounds bizarre.
And people
it sounds
like
really weird.
Yeah, and like people slowly, like Michonne walks in him on doing it, and they kind of bond over the fact that she still talks to her dead boyfriend. Carl catches him and says he's acting crazy and he should stop. It's freaking him out.
Yeah.
Andrew, I mean, it's like it's much better than him just waving a gun and saying, "Get out!" Yeah. I don't know why they didn't do that. That would still show that Rick is cracking up, but it would be plausible that the group would follow him. He's out frolicking with his ghost wife, getting jumped by Martinez. How in the hell are these people going to follow him?
They can't. After that episode, there's no way they can.
Yeah. This episode sounds like a mess.
It does.
Although I love the fact that the Dixon brothers are the ones that save the day at the end, and that's a plausible way to get everyone to accept Daryl.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sorry, Merle. There's too many freaking
Carl,
Carol, Merle, Daryl.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It doesn't. I can't imagine that Merle is the instigator of let's go save this prison. It's Daryl, for certain.
No, but he played his part.
You think so?
Yeah.
They're just going to forgive all of his past transgressions?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's going to be an episode unto itself.
Yeah, sure. Hopefully with a shorter email to accompany it.
Yeah, but Axel dead. The prison group has been vanquished. They didn't last a single season.
Yeah, good luck, Tyrese. Good luck.
I hope he dies right after saying, "You follow me." I'll thank you for showing me how to work a gun. You follow me. Blam!
All right, that's
Lesson
it for this episode.
Over.
Too much spoiler action at the end.
Yeah.
Too much spoiler action.
Yeah.
Can't handle it all.
I don't know. I thought we made the best of it.
Yeah, we tried to punch it up a little bit.
I'm kind of worried about this season, though, man.
Me too.
I'm not hearing good things, and this spoilers seems. It's
so random, right?
Yeah.
It's just like out of nowhere, somebody gets shot in the head. They fight for a while. Out of nowhere, a zombie gets shot in the head.
It's not out of nowhere. I mean, it's the prison assault happening way earlier than it does in the comic books.
Yeah, but there's no tension there. All of a sudden, boom, Axel's dead.
All right.
All of a sudden, boom, the Dixon brothers are rolling in.
I guess the only thing I can say, I don't know. I'm going to have to wait until see how it plays out. I'm scared. I'm scared.
Somebody recently, I think I heard this on a podcast, says that surprise is when something completely unexpected happens. Tension is when you see things building towards something happening.
Something inevitable. Yeah.
And tension is always better.
Yep. Agreed.
And I completely agree with that. And it sounds like there's not much tension in next episode. All of it's in this episode.
We'll see. I don't want to prejudge it, but
Yeah.
it sounded ridiculous as I was reading it for sure.
As we were reading it and making fun of it. Okay, that's it for this episode. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Yep. Bye.